Hello guys! I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Flora and I'm so grateful you're here. This video is all about creating some delicious nourish balls, which I love to make because it's so easy to meal prep some ingredients like quinoa or hummus, rice. So when you're hungry, you can just put these together. All the recipes that you see in this video are up on my website, which I created with Squarespace, who is the sponsor of today's video. So thank you so much, Squarespace, for partnering with me. If you never heard of Squarespace, they are an online website building platform. You can use them to create the most unique website. Whether you want to sell something online, attract new clients, write a blog or share recipes, Squarespace is for you. There are so many templates to choose from, which makes it really easy to get started with a website. They have built-in analytics to track your progress in an easy way. So if you want to try for yourself, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and once you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Justcallmeflora and use my code Justcallmeflora to save 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website. I really hope you're gonna love it as much as I do. So thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's video. And now, let's make some nourish balls. The first bowl is a roast bowl, and it's a really good one. I always do this when I just don't have motivation to cook. I started by preheating the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Then started cooking some rice. This time I used rice bags because that's all I had at home. I made brown rice with a vegetable bouillon cube. While that was on the stove, I peeled and cut up a sweet potato as well as some yellow potatoes into small cubes. The smaller you cut them, the less time it takes to bake them, so keep that in mind. And of course, you don't have to peel them if you don't want to, just make sure to wash them well. Then I roughly chopped an onion and added those to the potatoes into a bowl. Season with salt, pepper, curry powder, smoked paprika, and olive oil. Toss them around, and I also drained and rinsed the jar of chickpeas. Added them to a parchment lined baking sheet. Seasoned them the same way as I did the potatoes. I also added the potatoes to a parchment lined baking sheet and baked both of those in the oven, the chickpeas for 15 minutes and the potatoes for 25. I made a dressing from hummus, garlic powder, lemon juice, and water. Mix that well, and that was all the prep. Once everything was out of the oven, I assembled the bowl, starting with the brown rice, baked potatoes, some baby spinach leaves, chickpeas, and finally drizzled on some of the sauce. This couldn't be easier, and it's super delicious. The second nourish bowl I made was a hummus bowl. I started by prepping some hummus. This is a bigger batch that I love meal prepping when I have time. For this, I drained and rinsed the jar of chickpeas, added them to a food processor along with tahini, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, and some cold water. Blended that for around a minute until it was nice and creamy, and transferred them to an airtight container. Then, to continue with our nourish bowl, I cooked some quinoa on the stove. First, I rinsed it well. I usually cook 1 cup of quinoa with 2 cups of water, and I love adding vegetable bouillon cube here as well because it adds a lot of flavor. While the quinoa was cooking, I shredded a block of firm tofu and marinated with olive oil, soy sauce, and garlic powder. Once it was well combined, I fried them on the stove on medium heat for around 8 minutes, tossing them around frequently so they don't burn. Then I also prepped some veggies, including some cherry tomatoes, red onion, and cucumber. I then put together the bowl. Added a bunch of that hummus, quinoa, cucumber, a handful of lamb's lettuce, the cherry tomatoes, red onion, some Kalamata olives, shredded tofu, and finally drizzled on some more extra virgin olive oil. Again, if you meal prep the quinoa and hummus, this meal can be done in 10 minutes, and it's so nourishing and satisfying. Last but definitely not least, I made a spring roll bowl. This might be my favorite of them all, just because I loved rice noodles so much. I started by chopping up some broccoli. I always use the stem as well. I cut them into smaller pieces and added them into a bowl, drizzled on olive oil, seasoned with garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Then I cut up a block of firm tofu, this time into cubes, and marinated them with pepper, olive oil, garlic powder, soy sauce, and orange juice. I transferred both the broccoli and the tofu cubes onto a parchment-lined baking sheet and baked them in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for around 15 minutes. While those were baking, I prepped the sauce from peanut butter, soy sauce, rice vinegar, and water. I prepped rice noodles by putting the noodles into a heat-proof bowl with salt and covered with boiling water. I drained them after 5 minutes. Finally, I chopped some vegetables for the bowl like carrots, red pepper, radishes, and an avocado. Then assemble the bowl starting with some of the rice noodles, broccoli, carrots, pepper, radishes, the tofu, drizzled on some of the peanut sauce, topped with half an avocado, and sprinkled on some sesame seeds to finish it off. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget the recipes are on my website. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Love you. Bye.